Hello everyone, this is budgiesRcool and you're currently watching my 5th primer tutorial video. This might be an entire 3 years late, but I'll try to pick up where we left off. Now, for the sake of variety, I'll be making a handful of new poses to draw our legs onto. There will be a front view, a side view, and several miscellaneous views, just ones that I thought were interesting for legs specifically. Alright, now, without further ado, I'll sketch these out and see you in a bit. Bye! And we're back. As you can see, I have drawn all 5 of the bases that we'll be putting legs onto, ranging from the front view to the side view to our miscellaneous views. Now if I can draw your attention to the look over here. Look, this is a skeleton. The main reason why I drew the skeleton in here is so that you can see the angle that the femur comes in with respect to the, which one is this? Tibia and fibula, the small guy. So, incorporating this angle into your legs from the front view will do a great deal in making them look more natural, putting in the curves that otherwise look a bit random. I guess that's all I drew the skeleton in here for, but in the meantime, let's put some meat on these bones. So the main thing with drawing the legs, the upper legs, the thighs, is to curve inwards. So as you go downwards, you go towards the center of the leg. That will, yep, nope. So, the main deal with writing, as we draw, just realize that the curve of the legs is going to play a big part into making it look believable. Don't do just straight lines, because that's typically not found on the human body, just straight lines. We're all just big old messes of curves and nope, I just said we're not lines. Curves. We're big messes of curves. Now, speaking of curves, this is where the weirdest part of the curves for the leg begins, in my opinion. We get down to the knee, and then we start diverging outwards just ever so slightly, just kind of to outline the outside of the calf. And then on the inside, we go down a little bit more than on the outside, and then we start curving inwards and then curving back out. So we have these outer curves for the top and then inward curves for the bottom. Those are the main things to take away from that. Also, the little ankle bones are going to be like that. The outer one, I believe, is usually lower than the inner one by just a little bit. That'll help make things look a little more natural. Also, I think I drew the skeleton a little bit off, so I'm going to stretch this lower leg down a little bit. Oh, I completely forgot. Okay, these lines over here are where I place the knees and the ankles. So for the distance for the knees, a good distance will be from that hip bone to the ankle. That distance will be approximately that distance. But if you're just estimating, it's good to undershoot this by a little bit. Just think about it as if you're in the fetal position, your knees will be close to your elbows. What, did I just say elbows? Your knees will be close to your shoulders. Alright, and with that, I guess we'll draw a foot on here. Alright, so to draw the foot, first of all, I'm gonna decide that my foot's gonna be, the toe is gonna be pointing out this way a little bit. And then we'll draw the top of the foot just a little bit, coming out this way. Right here is the heel of the foot. And then let's draw the little ball of the foot. Remember that at this view, the foot is fairly foreshortened, so the toe is actually coming straight out at us. Now, I guess we'll just draw this leg in here real quick. So when you don't have the skeleton under there, I usually draw my little circles for where the joints are gonna go. And a little line to connect them. Here is our calf. Usually like to draw two little lines, maybe just one sometimes for the kneecap. And then there we are. We got two legs. This one's fairly identical, or our pose is symmetrical. So, didn't really talk through that one. But they look like legs, and now we're moving on to our side view. So first of all, I'm gonna get that knee circle in there, and then I'll put the ankle right around here. Nope, ankle right around here. And then the rear leg is going to be taking a tentative step forward. And now I'd like to just block in the feet here, because for this guy, this character, it actually does matter where the feet are gonna go. Now, for the side view, it's a little bit more straightforward than the front view. We can just stick with our nice smooth lines, go in towards your kneecap, and then for the rear of the thigh, is this still the thigh? I don't know my anatomy well. For the back of the leg, curve inwards until you get to the knee pit. Technical term is the knee pit. Wait, knee pit, leg pit, knee pit? Knee pit, yes. Because the leg pit would technically be the crotch. Think about it. Alright, so the joints of the leg are pretty interesting because this knee will actually bend a little past 180 degrees. And having your leg fully extended like that will give your pose a little bit more of a dynamic look. Alright, now that we're at the ankle, let's put our foot down. So, have strong lines for the back of the heel and the top of the foot. Curve up for that bottom of the heel. Curve up or curve down for the arch. And then, since this is just a basic foot, we don't need to put in the details of the toes. At least, not yet. Also, up here, when the leg is straightened out like this, the the booty is going to be pushed out a little bit. And then you can have that little lower gluteal crease. I can't keep a straight face even when I say the fancy words for things. I don't know if they're real words. I just put together words that I thought made sense. So don't quote me on it, or quote me on it. Do whatever you want. Alright, and now let's draw this back leg. It's not going to be quite as extended as that one. And by extended, I mean, you know, like bent past that straight joint look. Oh no, I'm losing words. Oh, I didn't even talk about the calves. So the calf, make sure that it is about 2/3 up your lower leg, and yep, curve that way and then back in or out. I don't know. I don't have a standard for curving inwards or outwards with respect to my drawings, so bear with me while I try to establish a rule. This probably won't be established by the end of this video, but for future videos, I will definitely have something that's not ambiguous. Alright, and now this is the straightened out foot. Technically, for this pose, our calf would be flexing, so it would be a little bit more defined. Flexing because it's bringing the heel of the foot back and up. And yep, there's that leg. Main thing to take away from that is that you got nice, smooth, continuous lines going from the shin to the top of the foot. So, don't mind me, everyone. I'm just pulling a little bit of... Nope, not that. Nope. My leg wasn't long enough. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Okay. Alright, now this back leg we can push back in the minds of the viewers by putting in a little bit of shading, just to make it seem like it's not in the foreground. Alright, and this is not part of the tutorial, but I'm just cleaning things up, you know? Okay, back to the legs. Alright, now we have our front and side view. Let's go to this miscellaneous view. So the main thing for this girl is she is on the ground, and it's just kind of a weird but common pose that you see people sitting in. So I figured may as well draw it. So these legs are going to be somewhat foreshortened. So you know that whole spiel I had about the distance of the shoulder to the hip. Yeah, we're just not even gonna pay attention to that right now. And let's draw in our little armatures in here, or would it be ligatures for this? Okay, I'm sorry. And now, yeah, I don't really know what to say about it besides draw your little joint balls, put your simplified bones in between everything, and make sure it looks good now before you put the flesh on, before you flesh it out, or else yeah, it'll be disappointing. It's disappointing when you work hard on something and it doesn't look good after. So anyway, now that we have the armature there, let's get to fleshing out this leg. We're gonna keep the nice smooth transition from the hips to the legs. Since we're foreshortened a bit, we have this crease over here. And then another thing about foreshortened legs is your curves are going to be a lot more pronounced than they would be in a front view. So that curve is like that, as opposed to this curve, which is woo. Sorry for the lack of technical terms. It's pretty late, and I am running on fumes right now. Ah no! Okay, so here is the other part of the leg. Just let this curve come all the way down and intersect with our knee. We're beefing up this part of the leg a bit because it's being creased. And now let's go to this leg. It is going away from the camera, or from the point of view of the viewer. So it's going to be a little bit longer than this one, which is coming towards the camera. The knee is sideways, so it'll be a little bit more square than this one, which is just pointed. And it will be going underneath this other leg. It'll be doing the same thing in the calf area, where it gets squeezed against the thigh and widens a bit that way. Alright, this one, the foot and heel, for this one the heel is under the thigh, but we can still draw the toes just coming out from underneath. Alright, and now this foot, however, will be pointing upwards. The bottom of the foot will be pointing upwards. And now that I look at this, I drew that part of the leg a little too long, so I'm going to erase out some of that. And then our foot will start right around here. So this... Okay, let me get these curves in here correctly. Alright, now the heel will be up here. Here is the top of the foot, which is now the bottom, touching the ground. Here's the line of the toes. And we're coming back to the heel. To signify that it is the bottom of the foot, I'll shade it in a little bit, add that line in there. And yeah, that's it for that. Actually, no. Let's make this a little bit more flat towards the ground. And we'll make that a little bit more pronounced. Alright, so that's this type of leg. Let's erase that thumb out of there. And now let's go to another sitting pose. This one's not quite as exposed. You don't see as much of the leg in this pose, which I will get to. So first of all, this is kind of a loose crossed legs pose. So the legs for this one will be coming up here and coming out there. So first of all, let us draw on a tentative armature ball over here, and here is where the knee is going to be, and here is about where the ankle will be. So if we connect all of these, that's about the general position of that leg. This leg will be coming out of here a little bit, but then come back towards the body. So we're going out there and then going under this leg. Now, the thing with this pose is as we flesh it out a bit, we start blocking a lot of the previously drawn character. So as we go down here, we can see that the calf is up there. Get more skinny as we get down, and then come back out a little bit when you get to the ankle. This one, the foot will be going out this way a good amount. And the arch of the foot will show right there, go into the big toe, go into the little toe, and then to the top of the foot. Now this little leg over here is going to be coming out there. Just like this view up here, the knee will be a little bit more squared off. Alright, so just for continuity of the leg lines, I'm going to be drawing, I drew directly through this front leg, and I believe the ankle will go there. So the heel will be here, and let's say that the top of the foot will be down here and straightened out a bit. And lastly, we have this pose over here. So this one, the main thing that I want to take away from it is the extents of flexibility and where to put your supporting foot or feet. So here, the leg that's closer to us is going to be the one that is extended upwards and being pulled by her hands. Well, so this one is fairly similar to the side profile view, with just a couple of differences. One of them being that this leg is way more back than the other legs, which means that it will squish the butt up a bit. Because you don't want a flat booty. Alright. And that is the leg being pulled up. And here's the main part of this drawing, of this pose. If you look at this character, the center of gravity should be right around here, so make sure that when the foot contacts the ground, it should be under the center of gravity for your character to be able to balance and not just fall right over. Like I said before, the knees bend backwards just a little bit. Draw nice smooth lines inwards. Kneecap is there. The shin can actually curve outwards a bit. And here is our foot, just holding her up. And like before, let's shade that leg in just a little bit. Show that it is in the background. And I believe that's it. So, to recap, we have a little bit of an angle between the femur and the tibia. The knee does bend backwards just a little bit. And remember to curve inwards, and then back out for the outside of the leg. And it's basically the same thing for the inside of the leg, except the spacing is just a little bit different. The inner calf line, the inner calf curve is a bit higher on the inside than it is on the outside. And also just remember to use your references. Remember to Alright, I think that about wraps it up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the section below. Thank you so much for watching my video. This is budgiesRcool. Take care. Bye.